Conducting business with an organization that has low professional integrity will make it impossible for you to get ahead, generate wealth, and create a legacy. I recently saw a report about a woman in San Diego who took her car to a mechanic. And the mechanic quoted her, because the car couldn't move, the mechanic quoted her for a replacement of a transmission. But when the mechanic opened up the car and took a look at what was going on once it was on the stand, they found that there was an issue with the axles. And after they replaced the axles, the car worked just fine and there was no need to replace the transmission. Now, this transmission fix would be about $4,000, which they charged the woman for. But they did not do the transmission replacement. They charged her for the axles and they charged her for the transmission, but they didn't do the transmission work. The woman couldn't afford it. She took out a loan in order to pay for it. And she went into debt to pay for that transmission. This business was discovered because one of their employees one of the mechanics recorded the work that he did, recorded the entire process and the conversations that he had with his fellow mechanics. And he blew the whistle. He took it to the news and it's reported on the news, which is where I saw it. A lot of times a business that you're working with is not going to have a whistleblower who's going to take recordings of the conversations and record everything that they're doing. A lot of times a business is not going to have that. A business may just simply sweep it under the rug and you'll pay the fee and they just won't perform the work. And what does that look like? It just looks like additional profits for the business. Hey, we charged for a transmission, we charged for the work, but we never had to perform the work and we never had to spend money to purchase those materials. And it's a win-win for all of us, except the customer, except you. Dealing with a business, purchasing products and services from a business that has low professional integrity is one of the worst financial decisions that you can make. So it's important to protect yourself from that. Before you do business with a company, which is what this woman should have done, do your research on what the company is, what it stands for. Check to see if they have professional integrity. Do they hold themselves accountable? Do they stand behind their brand? Do they stand behind the work that they do? Look for a company that communicates clearly, even during disputes. Hey, this is the work that we quoted you on. This is what it was actually required. This is what we're going to charge you for. Look for a company that has transparency with what they're planning on doing and how they're planning on serving you. Purchasing a product, purchasing a service from a company requires a certain amount of transparency in order for you to trust that business to deliver that product or service in the way that they agreed to deliver it in the quote or in the proposal. The company at any point could have said, you know what, we didn't have to purchase the transmission. We're going to reach out to the customer and we're going to lower her quote, or we're not going to charge her for it. But even after the whistleblower came up and it's on the news, they still went back and forth with the lady, meaning it wasn't a clear shot. It wasn't something that the company was doing organically. They had bad press, they had a whistleblower, and then they came to an agreement. If you don't know what you're doing, if you're purchasing products or services and you don't know exactly what you're purchasing, you're just trusting the experts on it, you can set yourself up for failure by working with a company that is not going to actually deliver the products or services that you actually need. And then you'll have to take it to another mechanic or you'll have to take it to another service provider. And then you're going to have to pay additional money to get the thing fixed or to get a replacement service. You protect yourself by these things by developing a community. Ask the people that you go to school with, ask the people that you work with, ask the people that live in your neighborhood, ask your family, ask your friends before you make a major purchase. Ask for recommendations, ask for referrals. Many times the people that you know someone who does good work, who has professional integrity, and they're not going to overcharge you. They're going to play you straight up. They're going to be fair with you. Shopping first, based on the relationships that you have, is one of the smartest business decisions that you can make. If they do right by your neighbor, if they do right by your friends and your family members, they are more likely to do right by you. First, look to see if the company has professional integrity. Look to see if they maintain great relationships with their customers. Look at their reviews. Look at their referrals before you make a major purchase from that company. And you won't be a victim like this lady down in San Diego was a victim. All right, I look forward to talking to you again in the next video.